Hey guys, this is a 28 Junkyard I did the other day. Um, I'm going to comment this one because I feel like I did a pretty good job. This was my second day of trying out, arcane rotations and whatnot. I will link in the comments my build, my talents, so you can copy them. And right here what I'm doing is I'm using my alter time, my mirror images, I blink in, I blast wave the ads, take the buffs, and then I use invis to get out. I don't use greater invis because I want to have greater invis to lose aggro on the first pull, since I will not have mirror images and I don't want to die, so I use them earlier. I'm trying to build up my stacks here. The way that I'm playing is very similar to season 4, so I'm playing like a burst build, which is Arcane Surge as Arcane Power, then I just do 2 Arcane Explosions, Arcane Barrage, and then thing is the ads don't have that much HP, so they die instantly, even though it's a 28. But basically, so yeah, I have most of the mechanics that we had in season 4. For example, I'm playing Resonance, which increases the damage of Arcane Barrage by 15% per targeted hits. The difference here is I don't have mana jumps in this build because I don't have enough talent points to spec it. So not having mana jumps, and I'm playing Siphon Storm, which makes it so my evocation grants me 2% intellect for 30 seconds for every second that I cast it, and it's like 7 seconds, so I get 14% intellect. And because it has the same cooldown as Arcane Surge, I'm just trying to hold it for that Arcane Surge to be sure that I have full mana for Arcane Surge and extra intellect when I use it, and then I can just CD. That's how I see to play it. So I'll show it to you on the next pull when I'm going to play it. But yeah, right now I'm just doing like some Arcane Explosions, and I'm playing 2 orbs because I need presence of mind because it's quaking. But yeah, right now I'm just focusing on not dying. So I used Evocation before, now I use Arcane Surge first, which is gonna give all my mana back during my CDs. I have Presence of Mind, which makes me not get kicked by quaking. That was a 230k crit. It's pretty decent. I'm also playing the talent that makes your Arcane Barrage do 100% damage to targets below 35% health. I'm not sure about this one. It's either this or 10% extra damage on Arcane Explosion. I feel like this is so much better because on boss fights, generally I noticed boss fights last a bit more than 2 minutes, so you have time to CD twice, and on your second set of CDs, your Arcane Barrage is going to do 100% more damage, which is insane because if it crits, it can crit like 700k, which I think it did at some point in this dungeon. This tank was doing some pretty scary pulls though. Luckily, I think there's a bug. I don't think it's intended to work like this, but I spec'd greater invis in the general tree, and I still have the 2 invis. So I have the normal invis and I have greater invis, which is the old arcane invis. So I'm just using both of them. I'm using generally greater invis to lose aggro if I don't have mirror images, and the other one for speed because I also chose the talent point that gives me speed when I use either of them. But I don't think it's intended for us to have both. So you see right now I have evocation. I have 14% extra damage, and I'm just pressing CDs. I'm not using here my... Oh, I did use my racial. I thought I was gonna hold it for my next lust because I'm also playing double bloodlust, which is very interesting. I thought this was not gonna be that great. I thought we would just be able to lust 1 extra time every 5 minutes, but that's not it. Basically, when you press bloodlust, so it affects everybody, including yourself, but the cooldown doesn't trigger. So you can just press it again and it stacks. So instead of getting 30% haste, you gain 60%. Or you can hold it for, let's say you lust for the group, and then you lust 1 minute 30 seconds later for yourself, and then you last 5 minutes later for yourself. The problem with this is you need somebody else to last 3 minutes and a half after that for the group, because your 5-minute last cooldown won't get reduced. Yeah, won't get reduced basically. I'm also playing Blast Wave here, which I think is amazing for it's just such a great addition. Like, look at this, for example. This is a pack where we have Inspiring, so I'm Blast Waving the ad outside of the Inspiring ad outside of melee, so we can kick the stun on the other ad. This utility I feel like is absolutely amazing. So as you can see, the good thing with the double bloodlust is it also lines up with Sigil if you play it and your pot. So right now my Sigil comes up in 15 seconds and double bloodlust comes back in 11 seconds. So yeah, absolutely amazing. I will lust for myself on pool. I'm also on voice with the priest here, so yeah, I'm getting PIs, and fairies don't really do anything for you because they reduce the cooldown of Arcane Surge. And yeah, I shouldn't have used my racial because right now I won't have it, I think. But let's see. So I press Bloodlust, I get PI, I use Evocation, and now Arcane Surge into Radiant Spark and Instant Touch of the Magi. 4 Arcane Blasts, not 5, 4. Arcane Barrage, which doesn't crit, and now I just consume my clear casting procs. And I had the crit right before Touch of the Magi ended, which was great because, you know, damage accumulated into it. That was a pretty good engage, 70k single target engage. So yeah, right now I'm just spamming Arcane Missiles. It's a bit weird because we cannot really spam them as much as before. I'm not sure what to tell you about the stats, right, about Arcane Mage stats. I feel like they're the same. I'm playing with my 3 or 4 item level mage that I had before. Haven't really swapped anything around. But because we don't have mana gems and we cannot use Evocation randomly, we can if, you know, it's like dire need of mana and we'll just use it and lose the intellect, whatever. But like, since we're burst class, if we just add things up, they, you know, it's so much better if I hold Evocation for my CDs and not just use it because I want to Arcane Missiles on my downtime. So yeah, I should have used Arcane Orb here, I guess. I don't know why I'm doing absolutely nothing. Ah yeah, it's because I'm waiting. Ah, this is what I was talking about. So I CD'd on pool, right? With double bloodlust. Oh, sorry, with the lust, because I had to get it on cooldown so I can have lust back when lust gets back for everybody. But right now I don't have it, so I used Evocation and now I'm CDing again. And since the boss has under 35% HP, my barrage is gonna do like a lot of damage. See, it critted for 344k, and this is single target. This is not AoE. If this was AoE, this would crit for about 600k, I think, because it's 15% more damage per target hit, up to 4 more targets, so 60% more. 340k is about 600k. And yeah, also again, my add-ons, they don't work perfectly. My UI is like half bugged. So yeah, don't if you see like random stuff on the screen, don't judge. I tried my best in those 2 days to make it work. I also liked the route that this random tank took, because we're not playing like scary mobs. I just like it. So yeah, right now we just played this. As you can see, my big CDs are coming up in 30 seconds, but I still decide to use my 45 seconds here. If not, I would just like AFK, basically waiting for the next pack. And as you can see, this I'm still doing damage, even though it's my 45 seconds. This was like, what, 42k. Also, it's not because of the zap bot. It might be because of the haste bot. It helps a bit, for sure. And zap helps a bit as well, of course. But for Arcane, since we don't stack haste, it's not like that big. It's so much bigger on haste stacking classes. Thing is, now the warrior asked if we have CDs, and I had CDs coming up, right? As you can see, I'm advocating to gain my Siphon Storm stacks, but this guy pulled not only Zilgamix, but Zilgamix with the pack, and this is super scary. Got PI. Here I'm using 2 Arcane Explosions, Barrage, Orb, Barrage, Orb. I should have used Orb again and Barrage, but I got a bit scared because the tank died, so I just wanted to get out of the pack. But that was a decent engage, I would say. Thing is, like, ads weren't perfectly stacked, so I'm just invising to lose aggro here because I didn't want to die and lose my bots. The tank wasn't like that geared, and he's I think he was on his ult because he has like a DK main or whatever. So yes, I think that was his fault because he just died. But like, I think the priest wasn't used to healing prot tanks as well. I think they're super OP though right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're like, prot warriors are really strong. They don't really die. They heal a lot. I don't know how though. I have no idea how. I played prot warrior in season 1, and yeah, it was super bad. But right now it feels like we might.
Range 5.
They might be OP for first season of Dragonflight. So as you can see, I used my first invis there, and I used my second invis here to just come back to the group whenever you know, when they came back, and my CDs came back. So yeah, thing is, I kind of thought we don't need bloodlust for the boss, so I just lasted here because you can see everything is coming. I shipped this thing, now I just CD. I'm using single target CDs here
Range 5.
because yeah, I just want Zolgamex to die. It's so much safer if he dies first. And we're still on last. As you can see on the bottom left of my screen, I have 116% haste with the double bloodlust. So yeah, I'm feeling it's great having two arcane orbs. Not gonna lie, I thought this was gonna be like, whatever, I mean, it's a nice spell, but it's not the spell that I would like to, you know, stack if I had a choice to. And I'm using my CDs, my 45 second CDs here. Also the fact that right now, you know, we are not playing the conduit, which reduces the cooldown of our arcane power anymore, because we don't have arcane power anymore. It's called Arcane Surge. It's amazing because basically your Arcane Surge is 1 minute 30. It's not 2 minutes anymore, and you have to reduce it to 1 minute 30. You don't have the pressure of having to cast clear casting to reduce the cooldown of your CD to line up with your other CDs. Like right now, they're just lined up all the time, and I think that's great. That's a great change for Arcane, and I absolutely love it. We're staying in the corner here because the boss takes extra damage. Quaking is fucking up my rotation every single time, so as you can see, I wanted to evocate to have the buff ready for when the other boss comes, but my evocation was cancelled by Quaking, so I had to cancel it. I'm still popping CDs because I still have the buff, and I'm using Presence of Mind to not get kicked. It's super weird to get used to Presence of Mind only giving you 2 free Arcane Blasts, but you get used to it just like everything else. Somebody suggested that instead of the rotation I use, I should do Radiant Spark into 4 Arcane Blasts, into Arcane Surge, into Arcane Barrage. And that might be true. However, I tried that rotation. I feel like every time I try it, I do less damage with it. So the point of that rotation is for you to Arcane Surge. So you do Radiant Spark, 4 Arcane Blasts, and then with the 4th debuff, you wanna do Arcane Surge, instant Touch on the Magi, and Arcane Barrage, and then spam your clear casting procs so that you get more out of the talent point, which makes your hits on Touch of the Magi targets, you know, explode for like 1k or whatever. I mean, that's a strong point, and I see how you can make that work, but I don't know, it just feels to me like I'm doing less damage if I do that, because if I'm on Arcane Surge or Arcane Power, the like 2nd, 3rd, 4th Arcane Blast still do like a lot of damage. If they crit, they can crit for like 30, 40, 50, 70k, something like that, like in any of those ranges, depending on which number of the Arcane Blast was. So yeah, I'm still wrapping my mind around it. I'm like also trying to play around my Antumbro stacks, which are on the right side, and my Catalyst, which is you know, like having to play around new stuff and old stuff at the same time is a bit like I'm sure I'm not doing everything perfectly. That's my point. I'm doing mistakes, and I'm 100% open for you guys to note what mistakes I do. Yeah, so this is,
Shockwave.
and then Arcane Orb again, and then Barrage again. Yes, that's the rotation that I wanna learn how to do every time. I find it super strong. As you can see, I blasted this back. I was lucky as well because the red died, to be honest. Like, if the red is dead,
Range 5.
I'm sure that I can blast because he doesn't kill anything, and it's tyrannical, so ads just die super fast. As you can see, my add-ons on the right for the timers are just overlapping, which is absolutely horrible. I wanna cry.
Range 5. Interrupt.
So what I wanted is to have big CDs on pull for the boss. However, this tank after this pull did like a giga pull, so I just decided to press my lust and sigil and everything on that pull because it was like, honestly, it was too big and one of us died, I think, so I didn't want just a tank to try to kill it by himself.
Range 5.
Just trying to get my stacks ready for the next pull, maybe using my 45 seconds, and I'm thinking I'm gonna use my 45 seconds and I'm just gonna try to prepare everything for boss to be sure I have like a huge engage. But look at what this tank pulled. Like, this is an insane pull.
Range 5.
And since the guy died, I just I don't know, I was confused. I didn't really know what to do, and I just decided, okay, whatever, I'm gonna lust. I asked for PI, and then Arcane Surge,
Shockwave.
Touch of the Magi.
Interrupt. Shockwave.
I don't know, I just tried to do as much damage as possible. I don't know if it's better to Arcane Explosion or to use the clear casting prop single target on your Touch of the Magi target. I don't know what does more damage. I haven't really thought about it. I mean, I would say the Arcane Explosion, but I'm not playing the double talent points on extra damage on it, so spamming it maybe is bad. I don't know, I'm just trying to get as many Arcane Barrages as well out, because they do 100% more damage to targets below 35% health, and that's great execute.
Range 5.
Yeah, so right now I'm out of mana. I think I was gonna ask the tank for some mana because I'm as hell. I don't have evocation ready. I would love to have my CDs on pull for boss, but like, I won't have them. And I'm on this guy pulled something else, so I just decided to maybe I should have just used Radiant Spark, but I used Touch of the Magi as well. I thought that this would die slower, but this died really fast.
Interrupt.
So yeah, the tank wanted to pull this on boss. That would have been great, but I didn't know. If I knew he wanted to do this, honestly, I would have the biggest CDs on the boss possible, because I would have had like great funnel, but I don't. So I was ready here. Like 15 seconds for my CDs, I think, is enough. Even waited a bit more now. I'm using evocation to get my intellect buff. I'm waiting for the ads to spawn before CDing. Getting PI.
Range 5.
Yeah, I didn't get the last cast off because of
Target you.
Oh wait, so that talent actually does a lot of damage. It's great rewatching your own videos sometimes because you learn stuff. So did you see how much the ticks of the talent that makes your Touch of the Magi target hits like explode? I think they were ticking for 9k each, and that's a lot. Or maybe that was my Arcane Missiles, but I would say that's the ticks because it was doing it on everybody. Anyways, I didn't have full funnel on that pull. I'm using my invis here as a defensive since I have two invises. and using my 45 seconds to kill the target again. Not really much to say about it. This is like same rotation as we used to have in Season 3. And I think I'm gonna get another set of CDs before this boss dies, and that's great because the boss has less than 35%. I should put like a marker or like a color change on my target as well if it has under 35 to be sure that, you know, I'm DPSing it properly.
Target you. Range 5.
Using evocation to get my buff, and using my CDs right now.
AOE incoming.
Okay, no, yeah, so 9k is the hits of the
Help set.
arcane missiles, not that ticks. The ticks tick for like 1.3k and close to 3k crits, which is still pretty good, but it's not 9k crits. That would have been crazy.
I will deactivate the node.
Range
Move
5.
with haste and locate the others.
Right now, I think after this we wiped like 3 or 4 times before the last boss. I don't know what took us so long. So yeah, just
Exemplary work. With the power nodes in
heads
Earth,
up,
the
if you want to
machine
skip to like last boss, just go for it because I'm still gonna comment this part, but I don't think it's that interesting. It's just walking around and getting to that last pack and dying and getting back to it and dying again, and then Yep.
Range 5.
I'm not gonna do the CC thing on the for the ad on the last boss because I don't think we needed to one phase the boss. So I just told him whatever. I should use my evocation now to get the buff. Please, let's go. Somebody
Range 5.
kicked my thing and then I didn't notice this, so I got
Dispel.
kicked on like a huge pool. That's not great, but I saw there was another buff which I spell stole.
Shockwave.
And I just used my CDs and look at the crit here. That was a huge crit.
Range 5.
But the tank died, so yeah, I'm running away. I didn't want to die, so I just used Invis, but then I DPS'd again. And I realized that was an issue because I didn't want to die. So I just went far, and I just used my second Invis, which is great. The priest used Meld to lose aggro, and then just reset the pool. I think we killed like 2 ads or something. But at least I get to warm up like my my rotations. The most we wipe, the more I can train my stuff. It's also great for my overall. If we like engage, I just
Range
burst
5.
like hell, and then the tank dies. I have 21 deaths, I think. Am I reading this right? And I haven't died a single time. It's all on the others. No, I don't think I'm reading 21 properly. Maybe it's a bit less.
Range 5.
Anyways, they're going for the same pool now. My CDs are in 13, so I'm just trying to get my stacks and wait for my CDs again. I'm using evocation now to, get my intellect, and now arcane, images, just to be sure I don't get aggro. I should have used my racial here, to be honest.
Dispel. Dispel. Range 5.
Assistance protocol activated.
Range 5.
We just killed these extra packs to take the
Shockwave.
bots, but the thing is the tank went for the double pull and I think he died again.
Shockwave. Dispel. Range 5. Shockwave. Shockwave.
By the way, you can see the spells in my
Shockwave.
like what I'm casting in the right side of the screen. You can see it's a bit overlapped with like
Range
achievements and stuff because my UI is bugged a bit.
Shockwave.
But yeah. So again, I use Invis not to die.
Range 5. Range 5.
So we play this pack again. Thing is, I have CDs again now, so I'm just using. Look at this, everything is stacked up, which is great.
Dispel.
I even have the buff. Struggling to target the right one though, and I missed my thing. But that's okay.
Shockwave. Range 5.
I mean, I'm not really paying attention to my rotation. Look at this, the ads are dying like way too fast for it to make a difference anyways. And we're missing 1%, but we'll just get it after the boss. So my plan here is to hold like my big CDs and literally everything for the you know, the DPS phase on the boss. So I'm trying not to use my mana too much because I know I can't evocate because I need to use the evocation right before to get like extra intellect. Trying a lot of different things.
Stay away from lines.
Maybe Siphon Storm is not the way to go. Maybe I should go like Mana Gem to have extra mana management. Because thing is, if you use the evocate right before a pool and then you double bloodlust, you're out of mana 100%. Like you can't hold your mana for that
Stay
long.
away from lines.
But I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm using all of my toolkit here to slow the ads. I have Cone of Cold, I have Blast Wave, then Frost Nova if I have it.
Stay away from lines.
Deploy the reinforcements.
Stay
I don't know
away
why I
from
wasn't.
lines.
I was really focused on not dying here and pressing like the CDs that I have.
Range 5. Stay away from lines.
Not necessarily doing my stacks. I know I have to do my stacks, but I wanted to do my stacks like maybe before when we stabilized a bit. Healer died, so
Stay away from lines.
yeah. But luckily we have a red pally that can res now because paladins have a battle res. Let's go.
The reinforcements.
Range 5.
And I don't have that much mana, so again I'm trying to hold as much as possible my mana. Especially since, as you can see, my Antubra stacks are gonna be available pretty soon,
Stay away from
in 2
lines.
seconds. So I would like to try to have as many stacks as possible for the boss pool.
Range 5.
Here I'm using my normal invis for speed, I think. I didn't, but I should have. Because it grants you like a lot of speed.
Range 5.
You can see the energy on this thing if you just left click it. I'm just going down to prepare myself for the thing, so I'm just evocating right now because I have a clear casting proc, so I'm thinking like, okay, I'll just use an extra clear casting.
Range 5.
Here see, I press lust twice, and then PI, and then Arcane Surge, and then I try to get my doubt, but I'm casting too slowly. That was a 700k crit, but it's because we have damage buff. Yeah, my rotation here wasn't perfect, but it's fine. And that was it. We still have 1% to play, which we will do now. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for other Mythic Plus runs, and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/projectqg, where I mostly stream our guild's raid progress. Enjoy watching, and if you have any questions, ask them in the comments below.
Range 5. Dispel.